What is going on? What is going on? So I know I'm going to say it's a quick video, but it is going to be a quick video. And the reason being is that I am very bullish. Just want to make sure that no one calls. So I'm going to put it on airplane mode. So I heard this quote on Saturday and I went out for a 4.5 hour bike ride. It was 70 miles. And then I came back and I did a 6 mile run. And during that time, I was ruminating about a quote, and I highly recommend you guys end up doing this, which is you have all this time when you're exercising. I highly recommend you do not listen to any music while you're on a bike, okay? On a run, that's different, but on a bike, it distracts you, it's dangerous, but it also doesn't give you really the opportunity to just dump the shit in your head out of your head. It just goes blah. And then you just spill it out outside of your head, all the problems, the insecurities, the things you want to change. So this is what I was ruminating on the entire bike ride on Saturday, which is your brain, and I've talked about this, but it makes complete sense. Your brain validates all of your fears, okay? So I've talked about that your brain actually brings up all of your fears. Okay, which is that's pretty good in of itself. Okay, yes, that makes sense. It brings up the fears. It brings up I don't want to do something, so your brain says, "I got you, Charles. I got you. I'm gonna bring up the thing that's really gonna make you not do it." So if that is waking up early, your brain's gonna say, you've already woken up early, you don't need to, you're hungover, you're tired, do it tomorrow, you don't need to work out, it's not a big deal, whatever it is. So those are the excuses. And then I heard this quote and it said, holy cow. So if you're trying to be successful, okay, your brain is telling you that sort of you can. It's sort of telling you, don't worry about it, you probably can be successful. But if you don't actually go into that trap of saying, you know what, I don't need to be successful right now, your brain will validate your fears. Your brain will come up and say, here are the reasons. And then your brain knows the one to choose. It knows the one to harp on, okay? So for me, when I didn't work out on Friday, I said, you know what? I deserve a day off. I deserve a day off, okay? So that works for me. Why does it work for me? It works for me because it's worked in the past. So your brain doesn't bring up anything your brain's not gonna bring up to me, well, you know what? You should actually work out because you really haven't been working out hard. That's not gonna work for me because I have been working out hard. So my brain says, okay, what's the top reason? How have we stopped Charles in the past from doing the things he's wanted to do? Oh, I got you. I got you, Charles. You deserve a day off. And then guess what? I sit in bed and I sleep through my alarm. That happened on Friday. Did I actually maybe deserve a day off? Maybe not. Is that all in my head as well? Probably. We're irrational beings. Listen to this thing. So I'm going through Chris Voss's unbelievable book, Don't Split the Difference. Unbelievable book. It's called Don't Split the Difference. Highly recommend you go check it out. So he says in there is that there are people that have had brain damage to their emotional area, which is, I think, their amygdala, okay? Don't quote me on the portion of the brain. But they've actually had brain damage or something's been done where their amygdala was removed or something was wrong with it. Listen to this. No decisions were made. So when you're going through all the ways to actually make a decision, the brain lights up in the logical area of your brain. When you actually make the decision, it highlights the emotional portion of the brain. So making the decision is emotional. Going through the options is all subjective. That's all objective. And you're like, how am I going to logically break this down? But when it comes down to actually making the decision, do you understand? So literally every decision we make is emotional. So how does that go back to our brain? Our brain says, how do I emotionally stop this human from waking up, making sales calls, making more money, starting your business, going for straight A's, becoming a captain, making the sports team, whatever the case is. Don't go out, don't drink as much, don't party as much, drink more water, whatever it is. So I implore you, here's the action step. I always tell the guy that works with me, Eric, I always say, what's the action step? Okay, you're making this call, what's the action step? You're sending this email, what's the action step? You're sending this text message, what's the action step? Here is the action step. It is now August 12th? August 11th right now. It is August 11th. What are you going to do different? Seriously, what are you going to do different until the end of the year? I was just scrolling. I download Instagram on weekends. I was just scrolling through and I looked at this and I said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about what other people are doing. I really do not care. I could care less. There is actually no care. So caring less is actually an upgrade. I don't care. I really don't care. Because I'm thinking, is someone at my funeral gonna say, man, this guy really scrolled through Instagram. He was a hell of a scroller. He scrolled the shit out of Instagram. He consumed the most content. Woo! Or are they gonna say, he helped the amount of people. He was an amazing person when it comes to a friend. He was reliable. He was disciplined. He read a lot of books. He kept himself in good shape. What are they going to say? What is your legacy? What is your legacy? This is serious shit. This is life or death. Literally. Got a message today. This is the last thing even though I probably said that 2 or 3 times. Got a message today. Guy, he might be watching this, but he said, I really appreciate it. You're the person that got me into personal development. Do you understand how much that means? That's more than money. That's more than, subscribers or likes or comments or followers that means a lot. That is the exact legacy I'm going for. The exact legacy is to make personal development cool. So what does that mean? You suck at something, or you're not good at something, or you could be better at something, whatever that is. Sales, marketing, reading, fitness. So for him, it was actually doing a marathon in May of 2020. So guess what he did? He started to train and reached out to someone who's currently training for hard things like that, AKA triathlons. The legacy of him reaching out and actually doing it, personal development is fine. If you're not good at relationships, if you're not good at approaching girls, if you're not good at dates or getting interviews or the interview or job marketing, sales, negotiating, whatever the case is, those are the top 3, by the way. That's the way it should be, is that role models, everyone needs someone. Mine was Tony Robbins, the OG himself. Well, obviously there was a lot of people before him that were very good, if not better than him, that were less about the business of personal development and more about personal development, okay? Bob Proctor might be one of them. But if you go back, obviously there's a lot more. But personal development should not be this nerdy thing where you're afraid to talk about it. That's why I post all these books. Like books, Think and Grow Rich. Literally going through that right now, okay? Think and Grow Rich. I've already read it twice, 3rd time, there it is. Why am I going through it again? Because I'm in a totally different paradigm right now. So if a best-selling book hit me when I was 23 when I first read it, and then 27 the second time I read it, and now 34 when I'm reading it for the 3rd time, I think there's going to be something that's going to come out from it. So just recognize that your brain is not your friend. Okay, your brain, yes, keeps you alive. Okay, but your brain is not your friend. Your brain is your ego. Your brain just wants to keep you alive. That's it. That's all. That's the procreate and keep you alive. Okay, so it doesn't want you to wake up early. It doesn't want you to go for that promotion. It doesn't want you to be drinking more water instead of soda, Coke, alcohol, things like that. So your brain, number one, comes up with all of the excuses. Then your brain says, what has worked in the past? Boom, let's use that. Charles, you deserve time off. Okay, that didn't work. Let's go to the second one. You're tired. Shit, that didn't work. You're gonna go out by yourself and no one's gonna be there. Let's try that one. Your brain goes down all of them just to keep you. So recognize it and then read Atomic Habits. Small incremental gains. It's all about consistency. It is all frequency. It is not the intensity. It is not the duration of the habit. It is the consistency. How often? Because that is what wires your brain together. Okay, you physically, and this is the last thing I'll leave you on, even though I said that 2 times, is that I forgot who just brought this up, but it is crazy. It's someone that I've been just following. So in other words, if you get to a paradigm of success, which is say $50,000, okay, you will rarely go below $50,000 because that is now wired in your brain. So you're literally wiring your brain for success or failure if you don't do anything. Okay, you get to 100,000. That is your new paradigm. It's wired. Okay, the dendrites essentially make synaptic connections, and then they get closer and closer and closer, and that's forming a habit. So have an amazing day. If you guys have any questions, leave in the comments below. Do not listen to your brain. It's all about consistency. I rarely feel like actually waking up and working out. I rarely feel like I want to actually go to the gym, especially swim when it's early in the morning and it's cold and I don't want to jump in cold water. But that's the biggest time I have to do it, when I don't want to do it. All right, have an amazing day.